Hello everyone. How are you doing? Welcome. My name is Pamela Anchang. I'm the founder of the Immigrant magazine, your voice and your advocate in the immigrant community. I know the lots of emotions that are running rampant in every household in America and beyond. I'm hoping that today I can bring you a message of resilience and hope in the wake of the last election. For some people, it was a moment of celebration, and for others, it wasn't. For immigrants, it was a mixed bag. There are those immigrants that celebrate because maybe they are doing well, their immigration is fine, and for others, even those who are doing well financially, they worry about their relatives and friends. They worry about families back home, and they worry about families that are living here. So I'm just hoping that what I have to share with you today might bring you some hope or at least some consolation. This election was more than a political change. To many, it feels like a test of our values and commitment to unity, diversity, and compassion. For those who voted for these ideals, that might have been those that voted for Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, the outcome was disheartening. And I share in your sorrows and the disheartenment. However, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. We are probably, and those of you especially that voted for her, are probably wondering if America truly sees your humanity, your contributions, and patriotism. I just want to let you know that as immigrants, we are resilient. We know challenges. Challenge is not unfamiliar to us because when you leave your land and you come to resettle in America or in any other place in the world, there are lots of challenges that you face. Integration, the legal structure, raising kids, having a family, making money, all of that takes challenge. And time again, you rise. Time and time again, you succeed. I want to urge you to remember why you came to the United States in the first place and to stay grounded in those dreams and aspirations that brought you here. There is light at the end of the tunnel, I repeat, because the Immigrant magazine is here to provide you the resources. And why? When Immigrant magazine was founded, I had this vision of a platform that will celebrate the contributions of immigrants. It was in the wake of watching news and media and hearing everyone talk time and time again about immigrants in dehumanizing ways. I didn't appreciate it, and back then it wasn't even our current president-elect. It was on the news. It was every time somebody did something, the first thing they said was it was an immigrant. Fast forward 30 years later, it hasn't changed. It's actually gotten worse because it's coming from the top of leadership to the bottom. Now you're hearing the dehumanizing language, not just from leaders, but permission structure seems to have been granted for everyone to pile on immigrants. Now, this election, like we said, has been really challenging. As immigrants, we've built our lives here. We've made sacrifices. We've shown resilience in the face of challenges. So while disappointing though, we now realize that politics is not about right or wrong. If you didn't know that, I'm sure every election cycle you might be reminded, but now more than ever, we are reminded that politics is a game of power. Who holds power shapes your destiny. So if you were sitting on the sidelines, I'm happy that the silver lining here is that maybe you say to yourself, never again will you sit on the sidelines. And for some, I've heard buyer's remorse from some areas where people regret their vote. Some people say, oh, they didn't know it would affect their families. They turn around and realize, oh, maybe my nanny was undocumented. Or those that realize, oh, my brother or my sister, even though I'm okay, they are not okay. So what are you going to do about that? Let's talk about action. I don't want us to keep lamenting. I want to encourage every one of you to take action, no matter your status or background. Whether you're naturalized, green card, or in the process, there is something that you can do. Whether you supported the president-elect or not, we must continue to engage and make our voices heard. Remember that so many people died so that you could have the opportunity to use that voice, to vote. Let us not waste it next time. Sometimes you say to yourself, you're one issue candidate or, voter, and you want one thing or the other, it doesn't go your way, you choose not to vote. Trust me, it doesn't serve you. When you are faced with two choices, you don't have the luxury, especially as an immigrant, to sit it out. Make the choice and then work with the choice that wins to make your point. Again, it is a game of power and not a game of right or wrong. Emotionally, you might be devastated, but right now, it's time to get off your laurels and start working. Now, if you did not vote in this election and you're feeling disappointed, let this be a lesson for the future. Prepare yourself now for the next one. And for those who are eligible for naturalization to become an American citizen, I urge you, don't sit on those green cards. Please go and get yourself naturalized so that next time you will not say you wish you could have voted. Okay, your vote is your voice. And for those who are undocumented or in the process, please go and get help. Go to resources, go to immigration centers, call an attorney and find out what you need to do to protect yourself. I want to say this. This new administration has promised massive deportation. And I know that that is what is driving intense fear in our communities. Unfortunately, also, we have been facing hate. There's been a lot of hate rhetoric. There's a lot of tension that's going on. Already we've seen reports of hateful messages that's targeting African American and Black communities, where people are being talked about in terms of plantations and cotton picking, all those racial overtones. I want you to know that you do not have to put up with it. If you encounter hate or you encounter someone that's being hated upon, please report it. In California, we've been fortunate because a few years ago, the Asian and Pacific Islander community took action. They didn't sit back. Immigrants are fond of sitting back. They took action, and thanks to their efforts, we have what we now call the Stop Hate campaign in California, and immigrants have benefited from that. So I'm urging, for those of you in different states who do not have such a campaign, I'm sure in your civil rights department or your mayor's office or your governor's office, you can reach out and ask them to give you something similar where you can report hate. And reporting hate is not enough because action needs to be taken. Again, your voice matters. So please do not sit back. Now, in times like this though, we cannot afford to isolate ourselves or let silence cripple us. This is a moment instead for us to unify, to organize, and to strengthen our resolve. We must form coalitions with other communities. We must work with our allies. Remember, not everybody that is a naturalized American is against us. If you look at the outcome of the elections, you will see that there's a big swath of Americans that voted with the same ideals that we stand for. There are lots of organizations that have been fighting for us. Okay, so let's join with our allies and find common ground with Americans who believe in a fair and inclusive society. We need to create a stronger and more united front and prepare for next time. Together, we can fight for the policies and the respect of our humanity and the dignity. And remember that America's blood is immigrants. Without immigrants, we do not have America, including folks like Elon Musk, founders of Google, most of this, Madeleine Albright. We can go down the list and see that America's blood is immigrants. And while some people would like to be ignorant of that, we know better. And so please do not feel like you need to go back home. Some people are saying, oh, it's time for me to go back. That's what they want. You do not need to do that. You came to this country like everybody else, like the forefathers came to this country and built a life. As long as you are here to contribute and make America a beautiful country and create impact in America and shape the fabric of this country, which ultimately shapes the fabric of the world, you must stand up against hate and you must make your contributions felt. So this is what I have to say to you. We will be providing a lot of resources on our website at immigrantmagazine.com. I will be attending lots of briefings, and I'm open to also engage you to have webinars, to have talks, to have speaking engagements as we move forward, because this is going to be a long road. But I'm not going to stop right there. You have to engage the administration that is going to be in place. And so I do have a message for President-elect Donald Trump. First of all, I need to let you know, this will not be my first time engaging a head of state. Many, many years ago, after listening to a State of the Union address delivered by then President Clinton, I sent a message to him, congratulating him on an inspiring message. Do you know that he responded? Now, I'm not sure if he personally responded. All I know is that I received a letter signed by Bill Clinton. And his message was that inspiring, and I was genuinely moved when he replied, a gesture that to me affirmed the values of open dialogue. And it's in that same spirit of hope that I want to extend congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump with a heartfelt appeal for him to lead with empathy and respect for the immigrant communities that contribute so deeply to this nation. I know President-elect Donald Trump is a human being. He has blood in his veins, he has immigrants in his family, and he understands the contributions of immigrants to this beautiful nation. I know that he said that his problem is with a certain group of immigrants, whatever group that is, whether it's Black, Latino, Asian, whatever, it doesn't matter to us right now. All we are asking you, President-elect Donald Trump, is to engage with us, engage with immigrants, bring us into your office, maybe create a task force with immigrants that will sit around the table, and let's come to some kind of dialogue about how we can effectively secure the border and do all the things that need to be done in a humane way. We want your administration to succeed, because when you succeed, we succeed. As immigrants, when we come to this country, we do not know Republicans, Democrats, Independents. As a matter of fact, I had to learn. I learned that it was the Republicans that fought for the liberation of slavery or the stopping of slavery in this country. So I know the Republican Party has done amazing things. I am not about party affiliation. I am about ideals. And I promise you, President Trump, that most immigrants are about ideals and values. We do not come to cause atrocities. Of course, there may be some bad elements, but it's not a majority. The statistics show that immigrants contribute immensely. They're like 95% create businesses, because most of the time, even if they can't speak English, they can at least communicate the language of business and moving forward and realizing their dreams. So, President Trump, our strength as a country lies in our diversity. I urge you to consider forming an advisory task force that would include our voices, allowing us to shape the policies that directly will impact our lives, communities, and ultimately the greater United States. Let us build bridges, President Trump, not walls, and work together to create a society where all individuals have the opportunity to thrive. And now, to my fellow immigrants, I come back to you. What do we do moving forward? To every one of you, to every ally, to every American who believes in justice and equality, please, this is our moment to transform our outrage into action, our pain into power, our fear into strength. We are in this together, and together we will continue building lives of dignity in this country. Let us move forward more united and resilient than ever, and create an America that lives up to its highest ideals and promise. You are not alone. Please feel free to reach out to the Immigrant Magazine. You can reach out to me personally through my social media at Pamela Anchang on Instagram and X, or on Facebook at Pamela Anchang as well. Or you can send me an email at publisher@immigrantmagazine.com. And please, please, please remember, you are not in this alone. We are stronger together. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.